You know the feeling, right? You're staring at something you know you have to do, but you're just waiting for that perfect wave of motivation to hit. You keep telling yourself, I'll do it when I feel ready. But here's the tough question. What if ready is a feeling that's never going to show up?
So let's get into it. That feeling of being stuck, it's not a personal failure. It's not you. It's a completely normal, predictable cognitive trap. And in this explainer, we're going to show you the way out. We're going to cover 3 evidence-based rules to break that cycle, and then give you a 7-day action plan to get started, like today.
Here's our game plan. First, we'll unpack the psychology behind this readiness trap. Then, we'll jump into 3 simple rules you can use to act now. After that, a concrete action plan, and we'll wrap up by showing you how to dodge the most common pitfalls.
Okay, so let's talk about why we get stuck in the first place. Turns out, our brains are kind of wired to put things off, and it all boils down to a simple, predictable mistake we make when we think about the future.
The real heart of the issue is something psychologists call affective forecasting. It's a fancy term for a simple idea. Our brain tries to predict how we're going to feel down the road. It's like our own internal fortune teller. The only problem is, research from people like Timothy Wilson and Daniel Gilbert shows that our internal crystal ball is, well, just plain wrong most of the time.
And check this out. This is where it gets really specific. We're not just bad at predicting our feelings, we're bad in 2 very specific ways: intensity and duration. Our brain tells us starting this is going to feel unbearably stressful, but the reality? It's usually just a little uncomfortable, totally manageable. We also think, I'm going to feel overwhelmed the entire time, when in reality, that negative feeling almost always starts to fade the second we begin.
And this whole forecasting mistake gets supercharged by perfectionism. You know, a ton of research shows that procrastination isn't really about being lazy or bad at managing your time. It's actually an emotional strategy. We put off a task to avoid the crappy feeling of not being able to do it perfectly.
So this is the key insight right here. That feeling of, I'm not ready, it's 100% real. You are feeling it. But it's just a feeling. It's not a reliable prediction of what's going to happen. And just knowing that, just separating the feeling from the fact, well, that's the first step to getting your power back. All right, so we understand the trap. Now let's talk about the tools to get out of it. We're officially moving from the why to the how-to. Here are 3 simple, evidence-based rules to start taking action.
This idea is the foundation for everything we're about to do. It comes from a really powerful therapy approach called behavioral activation. See, we have the whole sequence backward. We think we need to feel motivated before we can act, but the science shows the exact opposite is true. Action comes first. Action creates the motivation.
So, our first rule is designed to make taking action feel almost laughably easy. It's the 5-minute rule. The whole idea is to make the cost of starting so ridiculously small that your brain can't even argue with it.
Here's exactly how to do it. 1. Pick that task you're avoiding. 2. Set an actual timer on your phone for just 5 minutes. 3. Work on it, no distractions. And 4. This is the most important part, you have to give yourself genuine, guilt-free permission to stop when that timer dings. Seriously, 5 minutes of progress is infinitely better than 0 minutes of waiting.
And there's some cool psychology behind why this little trick is so effective. It's called the Zeigarnik effect. Turns out, our brains are kind of obsessed with unfinished business. Once you start something, even for just 5 minutes, you create this little mental itch, an open loop, that your brain naturally wants to scratch. And that's how momentum begins.
Okay, on to our next rule, which builds on that momentum. Rule 2 is all about automating your decisions so you can bypass that feeling of resistance altogether. Think of it like programming a GPS for your brain so you don't even have to think about it in the moment.
This strategy is called an implementation intention. It's super simple. You just link a specific cue to a specific action. So instead of a vague goal like, I'll write more, you get precise. If it's 9 a.m. and I've just finished my coffee, then I will open my laptop and write 1 paragraph. See how specific that is?
So why is this so powerful? Well, research shows this strategy basically puts your behavior on autopilot. You made the decision ahead of time, when you were calm and rational. So when the cue happens, the action just follows. Your moody, unreliable, in-the-moment feelings don't even get a vote. And that brings us to rule number 3, which makes your intention real. If-then plans are the how, but scheduling is the when. This is about giving that task a real, non-negotiable home in your life. The steps couldn't be simpler. Take a task that actually matters to you,
Open your calendar, like right now, and block out a specific time for it, even if it's just 25 minutes. Then, and this is key, you have to treat that block of time like a doctor's appointment. You wouldn't just skip that, right? Don't skip this.
And this isn't just some random productivity hack. This is a core part of behavioral activation therapy. By putting action on your calendar, you are actively breaking that cycle of avoidance that keeps you feeling stuck. You're proving to your brain, over and over, that action comes first.
Okay, we've got the rules. Now, let's put them together into a simple, step-by-step plan you can start using immediately. This is how we're going to build some real momentum this week. Here's how this looks day by day. Day 1, your only job is to pick one thing you've been putting off. That's it. Day 2, you're going to hit it with the 5-minute rule. Day 3, create a simple if-then plan for it. Day 4, you actually do the plan. By day 5, you're ready to schedule a real 25-minute block for it. And hey, if you want to get a quick win, there's a 48-hour version right there for you. The goal isn't a massive life change overnight. It's about stacking small, consistent wins.
Before we wrap up, let's quickly go over the 4 most common mistakes people make so you can start smart and just sidestep them completely.
Mistake number 1, making your 5-minute task too big. It shouldn't be work on the project, it should be open the document and write one sentence. Second, vague if-then plans always fail. Be painfully specific. Third, if you schedule it, honor it. And finally, please remember the goal here is consistency, not perfection. A messy 5 minutes is always better than a perfect 0.
And really, that brings us to the core message of this whole thing. That feeling of readiness. It's not something you find or wait for. It's something you build, one small action at a time. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Use these rules to create a specific one.
So, I'll leave you with this question. What's the one thing you're going to use the 5-minute rule on this week? Make a little commitment to yourself, right now. Drop the word action in the comments below to lock it in. You don't have to feel ready, you just have to begin.